Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Farming Simulator 15 on Old Ridge Farm. Today we're gonna pick up the grass that I mowed in that field, what I did. And I can't quite remember where I did it. I think it was down by field 9, so this would be the quickest. Yeah, it was down by field 9. I think this is the quickest way down there. Just through here. Yeah. I haven't finished the seeding. I'll possibly do that off screen after this episode. So I'm going to pick up some grass, bring it up to the lambs, the little lambies, as I found out where they live, and I'm going to murder them someday. So, what's this say? Public footpath. It's now... Apparently that sign does have collisions. It's now a public tractor path. Now a public tractor path. Yes. No. Somebody's playing the crew on my Steam list. I need to unfriend them. Yes, I make my decisions on who to friend and unfriend based on the games they play. Nah. But in all seriousness, if you think the crew is a good game, then... I think you're sadly mistaken. Anything that relies that heavily on DLC is not good. Evolve, I think the same. Although I have watched Total Biscuit's viewpoint on Evolve and the amount of DLC it has. Apparently the vast majority of it is cosmetic and therefore has no effect on the game. But the simple fact that they brought out that much at launch, yes, it gave the art team something to do and didn't cause them to get fired, which is perfectly fine in my books. Cosmetic DLC is fine, but really that amount of it, were there so many problems with the game that the art team had that much free time? That seems a bit hard to believe. Although could be, I suppose. It depends on how many assets were kind of pre-made. And really all it is just mapping a texture to the same texture map, so it wouldn't be that difficult to do. Says somebody who has no idea how to model things. I must learn Blender a bit, because I might be able to help out with various things. Plus, I can do funny things in Blender, I think. The only really intensive model designing thing I've ever done was in SolidWorks in school. It was part of my technical design course that I did for my leaving certificate, which is kind of like the A-levels in the UK, except we do more subjects. So yeah, I did technical drawing, or designing communications graphics as it became known. And part of the course was learning how to use SolidWorks, which is it's a computer-aided design program, a CAD program. It's kind of like Blender, except it's a lot more... I won't say it's a lot more technical. It's more user-friendly, but the amount of polygons is insane. The amount of polygons that SolidWorks comes up with is absolutely insane, because it goes for high quality over, I suppose, usability in any kind of animation. So you end up with beautiful models that you can give photorealistic textures to, and that was part of the brief for the final exam, was to make a model of a specific thing that you were doing a project on and give it photorealistic textures. Now, none of the teachers knew how to do this, believe it or not. I was the only one who figured it out. So I ended up going around, essentially in my free time at school, various lunch times and after school sometimes, and well, during the classes as well. And we had periods where essentially the teachers stole us from other classes so that we could do the thing. I ended up having to go to every single one of those because I was already finished my project, and I ended up having to teach the teachers and everybody else in the class how to do photorealistic texturing in SolidWorks, and how to do photorealistic rendering. Sorry, I'm gonna have a drop of coke. And I didn't have an issue with that. I mean, I'm the kind of person who's going to help you no matter what. And this is going to show up as silage, I just realised. The lambs will take... I'll show you. That's beef, pig, lambs. The lambs will take TMR, grain, earth fruits, which is potatoes, and sugar beets, so I'll probably grow some sugar beets for them. Silage, water, straw, manure and slurry. So this is going to show up, well, they won't take manure and slurry, they'll make manure and slurry, which is why I'm thinking this farm could actually be run for just vehicle costs. But yes, the forklift has come with me for when we get some sheepies. But I think this farm could almost be run for free. This is going to show up as silage, but it is grass I'm unloading. It's a bit of a cheeky thing you can do with the animal fattening mod. So what I'm going to do with the rest of this grass is I am going to make silage, and there's the silage clamp just over there. So I'm going to bring it through here, turn it in. I've made an absolute hames of this now. Oh, it works kind of. I think this is a silage clamp. Is it not a silage clamp? It's not a silage clamp. Where's the silage clamp? There must be one over here. Is there seriously no silage clamp over here? That must be for manure storage then, and there might be a silage clamp over here somewhere? Wouldn't make much sense. But I now have to go investigate where it is, because I assume the OEB guys put a silage clamp somewhere around here. Did they seriously not? They seriously didn't. Huh. So, what I'm gonna have to do is turn around, bring this back up to the main farm, and dump it off in there and hope that's a silage clamp. Hang on, there's a grass cell point over here somewhere. Where is it? In with the horses. Okay, so that is quite clearly not a cell point. Well, not a silage clamp. So, running into problems now. I'm going to bring this down to the main farm. Hope that's a silage clamp on the side of it. I think it is. I'd imagine so. Going it down this way, I think. And try to not slam into a tree. Because now you can tell I'm mildly confused at the moment because I'm just scrambling a small bit. I hope that's a silage clamp by the farm. I really do. So let's bring it down and see what happens. What I'm going to do once I got this dumped off, wherever I find a bloomin' silage clamp, is I am going to get the combine out of the field at long last. And then I'm going to continue seeding up field 1. I think it's around this side. I could be wrong. It looks like I am wrong, but luckily there's a perimeter road around the entire farm. So I can just go around. Oh no, it is here. Never mind. Please tell me this is a silage clamp. Yes. So I don't have the... Oh, what's it called? Nope. There's a mod where you have to compact every level of the silage clamp, but I don't have that. I didn't really want it because it would just be problematic and troublistic. Because troublistic is a word now. It'd be troublesome. Troublistic. So I'm going to bring this round and bring it in this side. Park this back up where I got it. The great thing about this kind of farm, old ridge style, is you really have to put everything away, or else you just end up with a big mess. I do have plenty of space left around the farm, but you're going to end up with a mess if you don't put everything away properly. And you're going to end up with a mess very, very quickly. So that is that put away. So we're going to go bring this John Deere into the field. There's a way out over here. Then bring this John Deere into the field over here. And we're going to hook up the low loader. Or the lowboy, whatever you want to call it. And, I'm gonna have to go grab a second tractor because I forgot about that little detail. So I'm gonna hook this guy up and run back to the farm to grab the other John Deere. Through some lag, I can see the frame rate dropping everywhere. Kind of open up this. Help show FPS true. So now you can see my FPS, which is hovering around 30. I figured I'd just do this so that you can see the game does struggle from time to time, especially on this map. Let's see. It's showing 40 if I look that direction, 20 if I show that look that direction. So, New Holland. This'll do. So yeah, this map, I am having a few frame rate issues. I'll detach the weight there is what I've done. That's... frame rate issues are down to me not having the world's greatest computer. So let's go grab the... where did I put it? There it is. Let's grab the header trailer, which is probably going to drop the header again. Let's grab it all the same. I don't know what the issue is with the header trailer. I'm going to have to... I'm gonna have to bring up the collisions debug menu screen in a second just to see what's going on. And that's why I have developer mode enabled, is just so that I can see where the collisions and things are. So if I bring up F5 view, you can see. It was in that hitbox the entire time and I don't know why it came off. So I can do now is hop into this, turn it on, and I can... oh, maybe it's got to be on that hitbox. I can try and load it on so that it is in the correct hitbox. And straight. Straight is also good in this situation. So... let's see. So you can see it's colliding. don't know why it's not sticking. So it looks like it has activated the hitbox there this time. So let's lower down, try and do a bit of straightening while it's down. Okay, so that's up. Let's raise it back up and bring it in there. Okay, so that should be stuck tight now. So what I'll do is I'll bring it off the debug menus. I'll load this up onto the trailer, onto the lowboy, and probably throw the lowboy into a corner somewhere with the harvester still on it. You know what? It's probably going to be easier for me to back up the harvester onto this thing. And I was correct to an extent. I think this can go even further up on the back then. Oh yeah! That's just gonna cause problems and I know it. So I need to raise up the tailgate. And let's see how far I get before the harvester falls off. Oh my god, it's staying on! So I can, in theory, now get a second New Holland. That is amazing. You'd never see it loaded like this in real life. I just thought I'd play silly buggers a bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it over there. So let's try and get it around this corner. I've overcooked it slightly, but I can fix this. Okay, so now what I've done is I've made a mess. There we go. I will put it down over here in this corner where it's mostly out of the way. There's nothing really... Oops. Ah! The harvester is coming off. So what I'll do is I'll have to move it. I have to... Oh no, I have not done this, have I? Okay. So I think I've gone and done is I got the harvester stuck. So I honestly don't know if I can fix this. But let's try anyway. Let's get the New Holland front loader attachment over here, which should be attached to something. That's definitely not going to work. The round bale handling thingy. I don't want to drive the New Holland off the back, because that's just going to cause even more problems. So I'm going to try and do is push it on with the bale forks. And I know the colour mismatch is horrific, but deal with it. So what I'm going to try and do is get stuck inside the fuel tank. What I'm going to try and do is get the bale forks in underneath the back of the New Holland here, lift it up and push it forward. I really don't know if this is going to work, but it's pretty much all I can do without resetting it. So now let's push it forward. Okay, so what I've succeeded in doing is... Okay, so I need to get a weight. I'm not going to end this episode until I've got this problem sorted. I was hoping to get more seeding done. But no, I've gone and made a horrific mess. Let's grab this New Holland and see if we can't get the weight off it. So let's get the... Hey, it's stuck on this time. bring the header in, get the weight off this tractor, pop it onto the John Deere, and see if essentially 2 tons on the rear of the John Deere is going to help. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the header trailer in over here, like this. Drop it down there. Bring the weight over here. And drop it down. Just push the John Deere over a bit. Put the weight down. I'm going to add on the extra 400 kilos. Move the New Holland back out of the way. The amount of fuel I'm wasting here is amazing. So let's get this John Deere lined up properly. Now the first issue is going to be getting the weight on this thing. Oh, please tell me it can pick up the weight. It can't pick up the weight. Okay, so what I'm going to do in that case is detach the front loading arms, move the John Deere out of the way, turn off the engine, and bring the New Holland in. Now this is going to be a bit heavier by default than the John Deere, I believe. So this should work a bit better, assuming you can pick up the weight on the rear linkage. So let's test this first. Oh, oh dear. The issue is actually that the fuel point was covering the it can pick up the weight icon. So let's try and get this up. No, what I fucked there is the trailer. So let's. In fact, if I can get the harvester tipped onto its front wheels, it should work. Okay, so now I think that's it mostly on, so I can lower the wheel forks and get the New Holland on the trailer. Whew. And that's what you call extreme problem solving. Best thing is I didn't break a single rule throughout all of that ridiculous nonsense. And I'm not sure how I did it. So what I'm going to do now is move the New Holland around. I'm genuinely amazed. That shouldn't have worked. That really shouldn't have worked. So in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is seeding again, actually, because I need to finish off field 1 and I want to get the other fields started at the very least so that I can do it off screen. I'm going to record that episode pretty much immediately after this one. I'm just going to detach the weight there, move the tractor around so that it's on the front linkage. Oh, that's nice. I didn't spot that before. Does that disappear? Does it hook in? Ah! So, if you look at the 3-point on the front, the top link is actually detached when you're not using it. But it magically attaches when you are. That's kind of nice, if a bit silly. So, I'm going to leave you now by saying I've been Rainbow Dave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 15 on Old Ridge Farm. Please comment, like, subscribe and all of that. I'm returning to the cedar with the smiley face. I will see you next time, and until then, stay safe and goodbye.